What's good, everybody? It's the Clown on the Cap Show. We're doing a little Week 14 recap of the NFL. To me, there were some up and down picks for me overall. To me, first of all, I know I said I went heavy on the Saints. To me, it really came down to one play. And to me, I do believe the Saints will be back, and we do know the Saints will make the playoffs. They might not be a 2 seed, but they will be in the playoffs. And I've told you guys many times that's my team, and it was last year, But overall, I'm really satisfied with what the Saints did with the 49ers. Yes, the 49ers got the dub, but, at the end of the day, I think the Saints will really learn from what they did, some of their mistakes, and down the road in the playoffs, if they do meet the 49ers, it's going to be a different story. But it's definitely Drew Brees had a heck of a game. So did Jimmy G. To me, both of them played great. But to me, Jimmy G still has to prove to me that he can win a game. I'm talking like a playoff game. Yes, he's won a couple Super Bowls with the Patriots as a backup quarterback. We're not talking about a starting quarterback here. It's different. In the playoffs, it's much, much different overall. Colts versus Bucks. I told you guys to go heavy on the Bucks here. The Colts have been the same since the beginning of the year, and I've told you guys this, and to me, it's really disappointing. And when they signed Jacoby to 2 year, what was it, 40 million? A lot of the Colts fans were like, "Dude, that's a smart play." And I really never thought it was really that smart. Is it smart? Really? What I'm seeing from Jacoby's not really great. It's not. And to me, the whole Colts organization, we have to start at QB. We have to draft a quarterback. I mean, Jacoby's a good backup, let's be honest, but the truth hurts. And Jacoby Brissett, he's not a quarterback that's going to win us a Super Bowl, period. And I do believe we need to start with the defensive line and work that way. To me, in the trenches, and the Colts, to me, it's disappointment. They're obviously not going to make the playoffs. Vinatieri's hurt. To me, he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. Adam Vinatieri, great career, multiple Super Bowl champion. He's a winner. He's a Hall of Famer, no doubt, great career. But like I said, Bucks, that was a no-brainer. Chiefs versus Patriots. Another pick. I told you to go heavy on the underdog. To me, the reason I went against the Patriots is they're not the same team as they were last year, or the past couple years. To me, they're really lacking on their offensive line, and the receivers really aren't as good as what I thought they would be. They are missing Antonio Brown. I know Bill Belichick's really hurting himself now, letting Antonio Brown go. Yes, Antonio Brown brought a lot of drama. I get that. Off the field, but I'm saying on the field, they need somebody like that. Let go of Flash, a.k.a. Josh Gordon. To me, it was just like, wow, the Patriots are just releasing people, and they're kind of, receiving the bad sides of that now. And I'm not really blaming Tom Brady for how they're playing. It's really the other players. I'm definitely offensive line. To me, I want to see their defense improve, but if the Patriots do not improve from here on, they're one and done in the playoffs. Although it's really hard for the Patriots to be one and done in the playoffs. I'm not going to say that, but it's looking like that right now. And to me, the Chiefs are a scary, scary team. I say the Chiefs are the biggest threat to the Ravens, and I say that because the Chiefs had the most high-powered offense in the NFL. They're just now getting more healthy. To me, the Chiefs are a very dangerous team, and I want to, that's definitely the X Factor team. Chiefs is one of the X Factor team in the playoffs. They are very, very dangerous, and they can run deep. I'm telling you, they could beat the Ravens. That'll be scary. Panthers versus Atlanta. I told you guys to go Atlanta on this one. Obviously, the Carolina's missing Cam Newton. They are. To me, I want to see Cam Newton come back. If they release Cam Newton, I'm going to be shocked, but I don't believe they will. I believe Cam Newton will come back next season and be ready to go for the Panthers with McCaffrey. McCaffrey's had a great season. Obviously, he won't win MVP, but to me, a great season, and he's only going to get better. And the Panthers, I do believe they need to start getting better on defense as well. They need more playmakers besides Luke out there. So to me, I want to see some improvements with Carolina. obviously they're not going to make the playoffs. Neither is Atlanta. Atlanta really disappointing season yet again. Ever since 2016 when they lost in the Super Bowl, up 28-3. Yes, 28-3. They had a 99.7% chance to win the Super Bowl, and they blew it. To me, it's disappointing as well. Ravens versus the Bills. Yes, I kind of went Bills on here. I didn't throw any bread on it, but it was just kind of a loose call here. Bills had a couple shots, but to me, ultimately, the Ravens were the safe play. They covered the 6 points. It was a great bet if you guys did bet on the Ravens. To me, the Ravens are the hottest team out there right now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. To me, Lamar Jackson, he's going to win MVP. We know that. To me, and also I did say Seattle was hot. They ended up losing to the Rams. But to me, overall, obviously, the Ravens are hot. I mean, they're the hottest team right now. They're dangerous. Bengals versus the Browns. To me, I went Browns. This was an easy pick, really. Like I said, the Bengals won one game this year. You know, that's pretty piss poor. And to me, the Browns really been a disappointing season as well. You know, at the beginning of the season, they were talking about Browns are going to make the playoffs. You know, what's the over-under that the Browns will make the playoffs? And to me, I just wasn't sold on them yet. And the reason being I'm not sold on Baker yet. I'm not a hater. I'm just, Look at the stats. Numbers don't lie. Leading up, to me, it's just I feel like they need to get their playmakers involved. I feel like Odell needs to be targeted way more than what he is. You know, and they're too late now. I mean, the Browns they slim to none chance that they'll make the playoffs. And to me, it's just disappointing. Another disappointing season for the Brown fans. I mean, yeah, but on the flip side, next year, you know, they say that every year, though. Next year, Redskins versus the Packers. I told you guys to go Packers on this one. To me, Packers are another X Factor team in the playoffs. Packers are the team that can upset people. Why? Because of Aaron Rodgers. To me, Aaron Rodgers is the difference maker. If Aaron Rodgers is playing great, which he normally is, their offensive line is blocking and their defense is playing well, their front seven and secondary, to me, they're a dangerous team. And I expect 100% the Packers will be in the playoffs and they will be a dangerous team. Do not take the Packers lightly. They can make a run. Lions versus Minnesota. I picked Minnesota. Matt Stafford was out. To me, like I said, Kirk Cousins, is he a Super Bowl winning quarterback? Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. And no, he's not. Minnesota will lose in the playoffs. They might win a game, but they will be more likely one and done in the playoffs. Miami versus the Jets. I know I went Miami on this one. This was, two trash teams, really. The Jets ended up winning by 1. Sam Darnold, like I said, the Jets. That's all I got to say. Jets and the Dolphins, 2 trash teams. Jets, Dolphins, and Bengals. The 3 worst teams in the league, dude. They're hard to watch. Broncos versus the Texans. To me, Deshaun Watson did not perform great. I went heavy on the Texans, and the Broncos won. That's crazy to me. The Texans ended up beating the Patriots last week. Then they come at home against the Broncos, and they lose. How does that work? That's the NFL. Any given Sunday. And to me, it's crazy. I just never would have saw that. I feel like everybody besides, obviously, diehard Bronco fans that are betting with their heart would have went Broncos. But to me, it was like, really? It's the NFL, though. It's crazy. To me, congrats to the Broncos, but they won't make the playoffs. But the Texans, I believe, will make the playoffs. Chargers versus Jags. This was a game where I was kind of like on the off and on fence. I went Jacksonville, then I switched it to the Chargers. Went back and forth, really, although the Chargers killed them. To me, are the Chargers going to make the playoffs? Probably not. Jacksonville, we already know their story. They're done. To me, Phillip Rivers had a pretty good career. Never won a Super Bowl. Never been to the Super Bowl. Is he a Hall of Famer? No. I think Phillip Rivers, I think the Chargers, what they need to do is go at quarterback. In the draft, get a new quarterback. Phillip Rivers is towards the end of his career. He's probably done after this year. Let's be honest. It's over for him. Titans versus Oakland. I got wrong on this one. I picked Oakland. I thought Oakland for sure was going to win. To me, the Titans are no joke, though. They're turning around. The Titans, I believe, are going to make the playoffs. Yes, the playoffs. I never would have thought the Tennessee Titans would make the playoffs this year. To me, Tannehill's balling out. Filling in. To me, I just never thought Tannehill was that good coming out of Texas A&M. But to me, he's really played well. And he's filled the hole. To me, it's just, and Derek Carr, up and down. I just haven't been sold on Derek Carr. I was a sucker for that. I thought for sure the Raiders would be really good, but as of lately, they haven't. And to me, it's one of them. But Tannehill's filled in good for Marcus Mariota. To me, it's been a sad story with Mariota. I thought he was going to really pan out in the league. Really hasn't, though. In 5 years in the league, he hasn't. Steelers versus the Cardinals. I told you guys to go heavy on the Steelers. I was right on this one. It's crazy. The Steelers will probably make the playoffs without rapist Big Ben. To me, that's crazy. Rapist Big Ben's hurt all season, and yet they're still going to make the playoffs. What's that tell me is, look, they need to go at quarterback as well. I think Rapist Big Ben is towards the end of his career. It was a good career, 2 Super Bowls for sure. Will Big Ben be in the Hall of Fame? That's a question. That's another debate I'll get into, but the Steelers, a big win. Seattle's versus the Rams. I went heavy on Seattle here. I thought for sure they were going to win. The Rams played great. To me, the Rams look like they did last year when they made it to the Super Bowl and lost. To me, the Rams still have a shot to get in. They do. They had to win out. No excuses. They had to win out. But to me, I've always been telling people I'm not sold on Jared Goff. I'm just not. But the Rams have really turned it around, and if they win out, I think they can get in. Giants versus the Eagles. I went Giants. This was a good game, but ultimately the Eagles won. The Eagles had to win. And to me, the Eagles have to win out and have a lot of good things go their way in order for them to get in the playoffs. They have to have certain teams lose, but overall, I don't think the Eagles will make it to the playoffs. It's been a disappointing season for the Eagles. To me, the Eagles and the Bears have had a really disappointing season to me. Those two teams should be clearly over 500. Same thing with the Cowboys. They should be clearly over 500. And speaking of the Cowboys, it's really disappointing. I can't believe Jason Garrett hasn't been fired. We're like 3 years past due. We need a new head coach in there. Jason Garrett needs to be gone. Jerry Jones, I don't know what he's doing. I know Jerry's getting older, but come on, really? Jason Garrett? Like, dude, there's no excuse. The Cowboys have so much talent, yet they're under 500. But yet they can still make the playoffs. It's crazy to me. It's I can't fathom that. But ultimately, I'm really disappointed in the Saints. But like I said, the 49ers and the Ravens are obviously the top 2 teams in the league right now. But as the playoffs get closer and closer, there are some X-Factor teams. And like I said, overall, Kansas City is a team to be scared of. I'm telling you, deep in the playoffs, Kansas City might squeak out. I'm telling you, baby. It's the NFL, baby. It's the Clown with Cab show. Let's go!